It's a drop of water, and it's pure. It represents the billions of gallons of drinking water provided from rural water systems throughout North Dakota. Faced with the task of providing safe drinking water to ever-increasing numbers at a reasonable cost, these rural water suppliers have limited facilities and manpower to cope with federal and state water quality regulations. Even so, each of the 32 systems has dedicated themselves to providing that need at an affordable cost. And it takes the support of our legislature to maintain economies while expanding and keeping our systems up and running. Back in the 1960s, farm operations were growing with the help of technological advancements and newly built road systems. Even so, rural North Dakota was struggling to provide what was essential: drinkable water. Water was often found with bacteriological contamination and high in mineral content. So in 1968, rural water development began, and by 1970, the Grand Forks Trail Rural Water District filed for a Farmers Home Administration loan of $4 million. From this, several economic impact studies were made and helped establish guidelines for the future growth of rural water systems. Organizing and financing future systems were complicated and overwhelming. They also relied on inexperienced operators who were often part-time, and training became an issue. In 1974, the EPA launched their official drinking water regulations. It became difficult for the systems to navigate these demands. So in that year, leaders of these rural water systems formed the North Dakota Rural Water Association. The newly created association acted as a unified voice and provided technical assistance, training, and education. Touching every county in North Dakota, the systems have grown to now 32, serving more than 145,000 rural residents and 100,000 in incorporated cities. That's rural water service in 247 cities of North Dakota's 357 incorporated cities. Due to limited funding, older systems were not always designed properly. Old glued pipes are now leaking. Add to that, the size of the pipes were only designed to provide 1 gallon per minute for every person. The level of service should be 2 gallons per minute with the use of larger pipes. The systems are being changed to be robust with newer technology, especially needed when you consider during the ag spraying season that draws tremendous amounts of water while trying to maintain enough quality water for business and residential use. Today, North Dakota rural water systems deliver 13 billion gallons of water each year through nearly 40,000 miles of pipe. As each system expands, additional funding is needed. The financial investment in improving rural water in the state has been substantial. Cost to maintain has increased dramatically since the first systems were built. Every dollar invested directly benefits individual rural users as well as each of the cities they service, not only providing more reliable services and expanding water supplies, but also increasing the economy of which they serve. Rural water districts have no taxing authority, so revenue is generated by the rates customers pay. And now rapid population growth in rural areas is forcing systems to expand to keep up. Smaller systems find difficulties with the lack of economies of scale. Funding can be accomplished with a combination of grants and loans from both state and federal sources. It has always been a struggle, even with how it has sometimes been allocated. What has worked the best is providing funding by purpose. This way, each purpose knows what they have to work with. They'll have easier access and helps ensure that the money will be there when needed. Here are the financial resources gained in the last few years compared to expenditures. And more importantly, these projects would not have been possible without government funds. And here are some of the costs related to rural water projects on the horizon for 2017 to 2019. Design and construction of new user expansions, new storage tanks, new water supplies, upsizing of old lines to meet current and future demands, and upgrading water treatment plants. When all said and done, the North Dakota rural water systems will be able to help enable economic development by providing consistent quality water supply from manufacturing, processing plants, and furthering the bottom line for livestock producers, as well as stabilizing population and increasing property values across our communities. Even a new generation of farm families would not have chosen to live in rural homesteads without the benefits of clean water. Like a drop of water, creating a ripple effect, so does the funding to pursue development and economic growth, and a better quality of life for North Dakota.